Most of that $16,000 quote isn't equipment at all. It's labor, permits, refrigerant work, and one certification you might not legally need. That hidden split is number 7 on this list. And once you can see it, you can't unsee it. Here's what the quote never itemizes for you. That single number rolls equipment, labor, refrigerant handling, permits, and margin into one line. So you can't pull them apart. 7 layers sit between a $1,000 box and a $16,000 install. I did my own in a weekend, but I'm going to be straight about the layers you genuinely can't skip. You'll get the 7 layers that inflate that quote. Then the 2 units I'd buy with my own money, and the 1 moment paying a pro is smarter. Number 7. The markup you can't see. You got the quote, you stared at one giant number, and you had no way to split the equipment from the labor. So let me split it for you. A single 12,000 BTU condenser, an air handler, and a line set run about $1,000 to $2,000 at retail. That's the same gear the contractor installs, per room. A whole home quote stacks more equipment on top of that, sure, but even then, the labor, the overhead, and the margin are the bigger half of that number. Some markup is completely fair, because a real business runs trucks, insurance, and payroll. But when the labor dwarfs the parts and nobody will itemize it, that's not a service charge, that's a wall of opacity. And the wall only works while you can't see behind it. That's number 7, and we're just getting started. Number 6, the part that makes any of this possible. The reason you couldn't do this yourself 10 years ago was the refrigerant. A normal system ships empty, and filling it is skilled, regulated work. But a DIY Mini split from a brand like MrCool ships with a pre-charged quick connect line set. The refrigerant's already sealed inside from the factory. You thread 2 fittings together, torque them to spec, and open the service valves. That's the whole trick. Remember that sealed line set, because it comes back in a second. Honestly, the first time I connected one, I kept waiting for the hard part. But the hard part was designed out on purpose. Number 5. The certification the tech says you can't skip. And he's not lying to you. Section 608 of the Clean Air Act says you need certification to open a refrigerant circuit and handle R410A. That's real federal law, not a scare tactic. But read it closely. It governs handling refrigerant. And a sealed pre-charge system is one you never open. You're not evacuating it, you're not charging it, you're not venting anything. So the standard self-install doesn't put a certified tech's license on the line, because you never touch the refrigerant. Here's the honest catch. The day that system needs a top-off or a repair, that's certified tech territory again, no exceptions. So pause and connect 3 of these. The evacuation, the certification, and the refrigerant charge. Those are all the same single job. Handling refrigerant. Remember that sealed line set from number 6? It removes that one job entirely. And the moment that job disappears, half the justification for the labor line disappears with it. If you've made it this far, you already know this channel isn't here to sell you a system. It's here to read the quote out loud so you stop overpaying. Subscribe and drop your own contractor quote in the comments, because I read them. Number 4. The vacuum pull you're picturing as a full day of work. On a normal field-charged install, the tech pressure tests the lines with nitrogen. Then he pulls a deep vacuum down to around 500 microns, holds it to prove there's no leak, and charges by weight. That's genuine skill, and I respect it. But on a pre-charged DIY unit, the factory already did that exact work in a controlled plant. So you're not paying a crew for hours of skill that was finished before the box even shipped. The labor didn't vanish, it just moved upstream where it's cheaper. Number 3, the permit people love to skip. I need to be blunt here, because this one bites hard. Most places require a mechanical or electrical permit and a real inspection for a mini split. And yes, pulling it feels like inviting the government into your garage. But skip it, and you're risking a denied insurance claim after a fire. You're risking a failed sale when the disclosure comes up, and a red tag that forces you to tear the work back out. Pull the permit. It's usually cheap, and the inspector is a free second set of eyes on your own work. Number 2, the wire nobody wants to talk about. Your mini split needs its own dedicated circuit, a disconnect box right at the unit, and the correct breaker. It's all spelled out in NEC 440. Some smaller 12,000 BTU heads run on a regular 120-volt plug. But the bigger units want a hardwired 240-volt circuit. And if your panel's already full, or you're not fully comfortable in there, this is a licensed electrician's job. In plenty of towns, it's legally required to be one. That's the single part of my own install I didn't do alone. Number 1. The constraint that quietly decides the whole thing. Those DIY line sets come in fixed lengths, 16, 25, 35, and 50 feet. You can't cut one down or splice one longer without breaking the factory seal. And breaking that seal drops you right back into certified tech territory. So a single head, a short straight run to an outside wall, a circuit nearby, that's a real weekend project. But a whole house with 4 indoor heads, a branch box, long refrigerant runs, and a panel upgrade, that's not a DIY job. Anyone telling you it is has never actually done one. This is the honest line most of these videos just won't draw for you. The point was never that every contractor's a crook. A good one earns that labor line, and a bad install will cost you far more than you ever saved. And yes, I just spent 5 minutes defending the same contractor I'm supposedly beating. But knowing which job you actually have is the entire game. So before anyone screenshots the title, let's be clean about it. The $1,000 was one room. The $16,000 was a whole house. On the exact same job, the real savings is closer to $2,000 to $3,000. That's still a serious number, but it's the honest one. So here's what I'd actually buy. First, the accessible pick, a MrCool DIY single zone unit, roughly $1,000 to $1,300 for a small room. It's the easiest true DIY install on the market, and the self-install keeps the warranty intact. The honest catch: register it inside the warranty window or you lose the coverage. And measure your line set length exactly, because you can't change it later. Second, the middle option, an EG4 hybrid mini-split that can take solar input directly. The solar assist is real engineering, I'll give it that. But the electric bill savings gets oversold hard, because you still need panels, and the payback runs in years, not months. Buy it for the efficiency and the cool factor, not for a miracle on your power bill. Third, the pick that means paying a pro on purpose, a Mitsubishi or Daikin inverter system, professionally installed. It costs more, and there's no way around that. But for a multi-zone home, a ducted setup, a brutal cold climate, or a long line run, the math flips. A certified install with a real registered warranty is worth every dollar. That's not weakness. That's matching the tool to the actual job. So the quote was never one number. It's 7, and now you can price each one out loud at your own kitchen table. Walk the job before you sign anything. One room or the whole house. A short run or a long one. A spare circuit or a full panel. That single honest answer tells you whether you're writing a check for $2,000 or $16,000. You don't need to become a technician. You just need to stop being the only person in the room who can't read the bill. Next time, we open up the $400 capacitor a tech swaps in 15 minutes. It's an $8 part. And the diagnostic fee that's just a truck showing up in your driveway. The quote is never the number they say it is. Now you can read it. YouTube thinks you'll like that next video, so click it. And if you made it to the end, subscribe,